JIMIN, one of the members of the BTS music group, could not hold back his tears when his best friend and groupmate, Jungkook, finally regained consciousness from the major surgery he had just undergone. Jungkook, who had undergone a surgical procedure for a serious bowel and throat problem, slowly opened his eyes after several days in critical condition. When he regained consciousness, Jungkook looked confused and asked in a weak voice, "What's wrong with my voice?" His voice, once distinctive and full of energy, now sounds different, almost like it's gone. The question is heartbreaking, given how important vocals are to Jungkook in the music world. JIMIN, who had accompanied Jungkook during his recovery, was unable to contain his emotions. He immediately embraced his friend, trying to calm down even though his heart was full of anxiety. "Everything will be fine," JIMIN said in a low voice, even though he was so worried. On the other hand, Jungkook's mother, who was also present at the hospital, looked so devastated to hear her son's question. He tried to calm himself down, but the tears continued to flow. It is not easy for a mother to see her child through these difficult times, especially when she does not know the answer about the condition of her child's voice. However, BTS fans around the world immediately showed their support via social media, sending messages of encouragement and hope that Jungkook would soon recover and return to the stage full of energy. The medical team that treated Jungkook also gave assurances that the recovery process would take time, but there are high hopes for a complete recovery. All BTS members, including JIMIN, continue to show their full support for each other in these testing times. BTS fans, who have always provided endless support, also hope that Jungkook will soon return with his beautiful voice that has inspired many people around the world. Over the next few weeks, JIMIN and the other BTS members continued to accompany Jungkook in every step of his recovery. Although their mood was briefly overwhelmed with anxiety, they still encouraged each other. JIMIN, who is very close to Jungkook, often sits next to him, speaks softly and reminds Jungkook of the many people who love him, including the army, who are always loyal supporters. Jungkook himself, although still worried about the condition of his voice, did not lose heart. He tried to practice slowly, speaking and singing even though his voice had not fully recovered. Whenever he feels anxious, he will see messages of support from fans who keep coming, giving him strength to survive. One day, Jungkook finally gets good news from his doctor. Her voice is showing progress, and although the recovery process is still long, there is great hope that she can return to singing at full ability. Hearing the news, JIMIN couldn't hold back his tears anymore. He wiped his tears with his hands, relieved and proud to see his friend's courage and fortitude. However, mixed feelings remain. JIMIN still remembers the first time he saw Jungkook lying weak, asking about his missing voice. It was a moment that will never be forgotten. He knows how much his voice means to Jungkook, who has given many fond memories to fans and fellow BTS members. Gradually, Jungkook's condition improved, and he set foot back in the studio to practice. His recovery has not been easy, but with determination and the full support of JIMIN, his family, and the army, Jungkook is ready to return to the world he loves so much, the world of music. This story is not only about physical recovery, but also about the unshakable friendship and deep affection between BTS members. Although challenges come so hard, they can always face them together, stronger and tighter than ever. Although Jungkook is showing encouraging progress in his recovery, his attending physician insists that he still has to undergo maximum recovery to get back to singing. According to the doctor, although Jungkook's physical condition has started to improve after surgery, the vocal recovery process takes a longer time. Jungkook must be really careful with his voice and undergo intensive vocal therapy, the doctor said seriously. The recovery process for a professional singer like her is very complex. We will continue to monitor his. Frustrated by this fact for a while, couldn't help but feel anxious. Every time he tries to speak or sing, his voice still feels different, weaker and hoarse.